大家好，自從新冠肺炎疫情以來，喺通貨膨脹效應下，令到好多食品嘅原材料來貨價急劇上升，朱古力就係其中之一。業界指生意難做，今集我哋會講下。雖然可可豆同朱古力賣得越嚟越貴，但自從疫情以來，朱古力作為 comfort food 舒適食品嘅需求大大提升，加上朱古力同埋可可產品據講含抗氧化成分及有益心臟健康，呢一啲原因都促進市場增長。朱古力製造商如果唔想將增加咗嘅成本轉嫁俾消費者，長遠嚟講有乜嘢對策呢？李嘉文報導。
市面上嘅朱古力款式應有盡有，朱古力亦都係西方國家聖誕節、復活節嘅送禮首選。不過每一粒擺入口，一啖就食晒嘅朱古力，背後花費嘅時間同功夫一啲都唔可以睇少。位於萬錦市嘅一間朱古力店，店鋪老闆符師傅呢一日如常地製作朱古力。喺收到供應商送嚟嘅朱古力後，就會放入呢部機，先將朱古力融化，然後倒入已經噴好朱古力殼顏色嘅模具，整好個殼就再加入朱古力餡，完成後放入雪櫃冷凍。符師傅幫襯開兩間，分別係法國同比利時供應商，購買佢哋嘅朱古力。不過佢反映近期來貨嘅價格不斷攀升，令到生意難做。
呢2年嚟升咗差唔多30%。佢依家係啱啱通知我哋9月可能再起多8%。咁咧做我哋呢行有時都好辛苦㗎，一邊有顧客，一邊又係要買貨。咁你嘅升價，佢哋升，我哋又唔可以升得太犀利，因為啲客啲又唔係幾開心㗎啦。咁我哋咪要揾一個 balance 去點去做得好，亦都唔可以減料咯。
朱古力係嚟自可可樹嘅果實。據記載，居住喺墨西哥灣嘅奧爾梅克人4000幾年前喺中美洲發現咗可可樹，並且將種植嘅可可豆整成朱古力飲品。後嚟瑪雅人繼承咗佢哋嘅文化，會喺典禮上飲朱古力，可可豆亦都成為咗佢哋嘅交易貨幣。之後西班牙人將可可豆種子帶到歐洲，喺可可飲品加入咗蜂蜜、糖同肉桂，平衡天然嘅苦味，然後迎合歐洲人口味嘅朱古力就被引入咗去歐洲各個國家，十分之受當時皇室貴族及上流社會嘅歡迎。而家種植可可豆嘅農地唔再只限於拉丁美洲，目前全世界有約75%嘅可可樹都種植於西非國家，例如加納、象牙海岸等等。供應朱古力嘅大型企業就會用喺農田拎返嚟嘅可可豆，經發酵、暴曬、烘焙及打磨後整成朱古力，再供應俾各大公司、小店、餐廳等等。
你去嗰啲農場嗰陣時，佢會有啲豆係種出嚟，一粒一粒嘅。咁啊，嗰啲豆好似咖啡豆咁。呢啲豆一出嚟呢，係好小心唔好去食佢，因為係好多嗰啲 salmonella 㗎，食親咧係肚痛肚屙，所以呢係好小心。收完啲豆呢，大公司係點呢？佢就攞咗去嗰個叫做嗰個皮出嚟，攞個皮出嚟呢，係有一粒一粒黑色嘅豆。咁如果係打爛咗佢，打鬆晒，咁咧就變成呢啲啦，一枚呢啲豆。呢個第2期嘅，咁第2期嘅呢，咁啊開始落去炒㗎啦，炒完咁又加糖啦，又加 vanilla 啦，咁啊慢慢去磨。
不過喺通脹環境下，原材料例如可可豆、糖、牛奶都難免會加價。可可豆嘅價格喺今年3月上升至每噸約1萬蚊美金。比起去年上升咗129%，創46年嚟嘅新高。可可豆價格攀升嘅原因，除咗受百物騰貴影響，亦都因為氣候變化同極端天氣問題。 影響到種植可可樹農田嘅收成，導致可可豆不穩定嘅供應。
And because of the climate instability, there has been a very big shortage in the supply of cocoa beans. And so for the growth of cocoa beans and the cocoa plant, you need a very specific temperature in the tropical region. It only grows in a very narrow band around the tropics. And of course, it requires the humidity that is characteristic of those areas and the temperature that is characteristic of those areas. Right now, for example, in Ecuador, they have had an unprecedented drought, to the point where they have electricity cuts now every day for 4 or 5 hours in a tropical country. So the patterns of rain have changed, and similar problems have been arising in West Africa as well, in which you either have excessive rains, like these extremes in weather, or now currently very low levels of rain. And without water, the plant doesn't grow. And that is the issue at this moment of this instability in the weather, creating the shortage in the cocoa beans.
另外，對於呢間開鋪已經有3年半，位於 Aurora 嘅朱古力店嚟講，店鋪生意嘅壓力，除咗係嚟自價格不斷上漲嘅可可豆，亦經歷過缺貨，要揾其他朱古力代替嘅時候。
Because I opened in COVID, I had a lot of challenges just because sometimes you just couldn't get ingredients no matter what. It could be like boxes or anything. It could be anything that was causing me difficulty finding my raw materials. Even sugar was hard to find. So because it was difficult to just get product, the prices were going all over the place. So they were going up every 3 months, but worse, I would go and try to buy them and they would be out of stock. They'd be out of stock for sometimes 2 months, so I had to substitute other chocolates. But in the last 12 months, I just checked before this interview, and most of my prices have gone up in the last year between 21 and 25% just on the chocolate prices. Now I'm using very special chocolate that's a little more expensive to begin with.
Clayton 主要係用嚟自3間分別係瑞士、比利時同法國供應商嘅朱古力，包裝上顯示嘅百分比係解成塊朱古力嘅可可成分有幾多。而剩餘嘅百分比就係糖、vanilla 及其他添加物嘅含量比例。Clayton 通常都會用可可成分70%或以上嘅朱古力嚟做黑朱古力口味，而33%至58%就係牛奶朱古力嘅口味。白朱古力並冇加入可可粉，而係由可可脂肪、糖同奶粉整成。
Which is a very large Belgian producer. However, this is their French chocolate. So this is processed in France. It's a bit more expensive than their Belgian chocolate. This is 58%, but it's going to be a blend of probably African chocolate, maybe with Mexican chocolate. But it's the important thing is they're not identifying that this chocolate comes from a certain area.
想要追求獨特又符合心目中口味要求嘅朱古力，店鋪除咗向壟斷市場但有專業機器技術嘅幾間大型供應商購買之外，都別無他選。不過大型可可企業嘅勞工剝削問題，長年都未得以解決。根據美國勞工部數據顯示，估計有約156萬嘅童工喺西非嘅可可農田工作。大部分童工嘅年齡介乎12至16歲，最細嘅只有5歲。而種植可可豆嘅農夫，佢哋嘅努力同收入並不成正比，每日平均收入只有7毫8至1蚊美金。可可產業背後嘅結構性問題，以及近代消費者開始重視產品背後嘅議題，都推動咗業界近年開始支持採用公平貿易而嚟嘅朱古力，但產業面對天氣、人權等問題，長遠嚟講，可可豆未來總有一日會供不應求。教授 Alejandro 就提議用代可可脂去取代材料當中成本最貴嘅可可脂，例如提取嚟自藻類或酵母嘅微藻油，或者棕櫚油等植物油，而整成嘅人造食用油取代可可脂嘅成分，整出嚟嘅朱古力同樣可以做到口感順滑，而且成本會更划算。 教授聯同佢嘅團隊，亦都有研究，只需要加入輪脂，就能夠簡化朱古力嘅加工步驟，甚至無需依賴供應商嘅大型機器去加工製作朱古力。
We have found out that certain fatty materials, they're not necessarily the triglycerides, but they're the components of the lecithin that they call. Every chocolate has a little bit of lecithin if you look in the labels. And the lecithin helps you put all that sugar in the fat and make everything smooth. We actually have identified certain key components in that lecithin that have an effect on the solidification of the actual fat, the cocoa butter. And that has led us to our discovery that we can add a very small amount of this, and then your chocolate will be tempered in the correct way, because it's very important to temper and crystallize in the right form.
教授亦有研究使用石磨機將研磨、精煉同壓碎呢3個步驟合而為一，能夠為中小型企業慳返唔少購買機器嘅成本同製作時間。
This being a stone grinder, when you take a close-up of this, you will see that it's a stone surface at the bottom with 2 rolling stones on the top, and it just gets ground and ground and ground and ground for over 24 hours. And it gets a little bit warmer, so anything that is acidic will evaporate off and leave you behind. Those 2 processes industrially, they're called refining and conching. But we do the milling, refining, and the conching in one step. Otherwise, this would actually take 3 different machines: a mill, a refining roller, and a conch. And we can do the 3 of them for a machine that costs not too much.
雖然教授同團隊仍然處於一個計劃階段，同有興趣參與嘅公司商量作試驗，朱古力成品仍未有喺市面上流行。不過科技發展或者可以解決受可可豆供應短缺，而喺製作朱古力上有困難嘅中小企，另覓一條新出路。
今日嘅節目時間就到呢一度，下星期再見。